someone wants something from you. They want a specific human dynamic. Maybe they want you to be a brother figure or some reasonable facsimile. It doesn't really matter what. The point is, somebody wants something from you, and you are upset by this. Why are you upset? Well, chances are you don't know why you're upset. You just are. And think of it from this perspective. If you knew why you were upset, then you could identify this, you could embrace this, and the relationship could go in a far healthier direction. The relationship ultimately is hurt because we refuse to look long and hard at ourselves. Dynamics. I have 5 dynamics here. First, we have life forms us. It does indeed form us in many, many respects. Mentally, physically, sexually, socially, you name it, life, everything that happens to you, to one extent or another, is going to become a part of you. So number 2, we become, indeed. 3, we ignore this. This is things happening and affecting us in a negative or in a positive way. These are inevitable. We do not have to ignore it. We don't have to ignore the effect on our lives, and we certainly don't have to pretend that these things don't have an effect on our lives, because they do. Fourthly, what happens, as opposed to embracing the moment, we develop coping skills. In fact, my friend behind the camera and myself, 3 minutes before I began this talk, were talking about someone who has learned all these psychological dynamics at the expense of embracing their heart. Sometimes it's better not to learn psychological dynamics if it leads you to an imbalance in your life, because ultimately it's our heart and making our heart soft and pliable that's most important in life. Fifthly, we institutionalize this. It forms a crust over us, and it protects us. When we institutionalize this dynamic of life into a certain extent, at the very least, we become dead. So life forms us, we become what life makes us, we ignore this, we develop coping skills, and we institutionalize this. What is my point? My point here is that life is supposed to be exciting. And if you are not in touch with your emotional dynamic, if you are not in touch of who and what you are, if you don't understand why you feel a certain thing at a certain time, then life will not be living up to its potential. It's like this: when we become disassociated from our personhood, it's like we have gloves on our hands and we're going through life, and everything we touch we're insulated, so we're not really touching it. Don't you want to feel and touch and be who you truly are? What we want is good health. What we want is joy. And what we want is a good sex life. And trust me on this one. If your life goes in a direction where you are disassociated from your emotions, this will affect your relationships, and it will affect your relationships sexually as well. Becoming completely in touch with yourself means you're in touch with the other person. There's a greater empathy and understanding of who your partner is. And this will translate to the maturity dynamic of the relationship. It'll translate to the amount of joy in the relationship. How can you have joy in a relationship when you are expressing yourself to someone and they're expressing themselves to you, but it's not really who you are? You know, do you see what I mean by this glove analogy? It truly works. We have to get in touch with ourselves. And how do we do this? We need humility, and we need desire. Humility is what opens up the floodgates, so to speak, the proverbial floodgates. In humility, we are no longer defining ourselves by what we want to be or what we think ourselves to be. Because who we think ourselves to be and who we are two different things. And humility allows us to see all things. We can begin to see the pain in our lives. We begin to see how disassociated we are from our emotions. We see things, and this, accompanied with desire, allows us to put these things together to understand who and what we are, and we become in touch with who we truly are, which allows us inevitably to be in touch with that other person. It could be an emotionally beautiful experience. Relationships, even kind of semi-casual relationships, emotionally can be a very, very beautiful experience if you are there and the other person is there and you are connecting. You cannot connect with another person until you first connect with yourself. Take the time to learn humility, to embrace desire, and allow this to beautify your relationships. This is the Love Guru. Have a nice day.